Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 596 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. I'm so glad you're here. If you're new, I am especially glad you're here. And if you've hung out with me for a while, just know that I think you're the best. And also keep hanging out because we're really just about 10 to 15 minute reminders twice a week that our mindset matters in everything we do. I don't think we were taught that growing up unless you had unusually aware parents that helped you see how your thoughts matter. But if that's not you, and it wasn't me either, my parents are amazing, but that just wasn't their thing. But if that's not you either, then these short little episodes will give you little things to think about to remind you that you're in control of your overall happiness. No one else can do that for you. And the majority of that happiness depends on the thoughts you have about most things. Because life isn't always rainbows and butterflies, even though I wish it was. But it's really how you deal with the uncomfortable things that matter. You know, the uncomfortable feelings most of us try to dodge. Those little itches, the aches, the nagging thoughts that pop up and make us anxious. This episode is really inspired by a recent meditation session that really shifted my perspective, and I think it'll resonate with you too. It was on how leaning into discomfort might just be the key to feeling more peace. And who doesn't want to feel more peace in this crazy world, right? So the other morning, I'm in my Tuscan room. I'm in my cozy morning chair, and the rain was falling outside. It was such a beautiful, pleasant morning. And I am doing my daily meditation. And Henry is guiding us. Henry is the amazing meditation teacher I've been following for a while now. He's super grounded and wise. And all of that without being over the top. Like, I feel very comfortable with him. He's on the Way app. Anyway, this particular meditation has us sort of scanning our bodies, looking for and being aware of any unpleasant feelings, like maybe an itch somewhere in your skin or an aching joint that's kind of bugging you. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't love focusing on unpleasant things. I just don't like it. Most people I don't think do. But anyway, so my first instinct was like, come on, Henry, can't we just look at all the good things or focus on the good things? But I know he's doing it for a reason. So here I am, diligently looking for and noticing the little discomforts during my sit, which is what he calls the meditation practice. But it was interesting, because he's not just pointing them out to torture us, obviously not. He's asking us to dig a little bit deeper. Like, how do we know that that's unpleasant? Where in our experience do we notice the actual disliking of it? And then on top of that, noticing the wanting for it not to be there. That pull to scratch the itch or to shift positions to make it go away right now. At the same time, though, he wants us to just allow it all to be there, allow that discomfort, and allow the wanting for it to change. And let it all be okay without jumping in to solve for it or fix it. That isn't an easy thing to do, especially with an itch. I mean, come on, my mind was like, just scratch it already, Heidi. Nobody cares. Nobody's even going to know but you. But as I sat there really trying to practice this, something did shift. And I'm certain this is what Henry already knew would happen. The more I allowed the itch as my current reality, the sensation itself without labeling it as bad, and allowed the wanting it to change as part of my reality too, the less it became a problem. It actually worked. Like, it didn't magically disappear, but its grip on me loosened quite a bit. It was like kind of turning down the volume on a radio that is just blaring static. Suddenly it was just kind of there, not dominating my meditation, not ruining my morning. And that got me thinking, isn't this how so much of life works? It's that intense need to never be uncomfortable. Kevin, my trainer, always used to tell me that I don't like to be uncomfortable. And I was like, well, duh, who does? But we always have that we feel like we shouldn't ever be uncomfortable, and we always want to solve for it or ignore it or distract ourselves from it. But that actually makes those feelings bigger, makes them louder, more insistent. And I know it's one thing to say it in a meditation, and it's another thing to live it out in the real world. So like in your reality, maybe it's not an itch, but maybe it's that nagging worry about work deadlines all the time, or the frustration when traffic's backed up and you're running late. Or, those emotional itches like feeling overlooked in a conversation or dealing with a family member's little quirky habit that drives you nuts. Our default mode is to resist it, right? We tense up, we complain internally, or maybe even out loud. Maybe we scroll on our phones to numb it out. But what if instead we pause for a second and notice, okay, this feels unpleasant. I notice that I'm disliking it. I notice I want it to stop. And then we just let that be okay for a moment. No fixing, no forcing. I actually tried it the other day. So I'm working on a kitchen renovation, and as I do with every single project, once I make a decision about a design aspect, I very rarely will go back and change it, because usually I've narrowed it down over an agonizing amount of time to get to that final decision. But once the decision is made, especially if it's unique or different, I find myself playing it over and over in my head, worrying, like, what if it's gonna look awful? What if the sconce doesn't sit flush on the tile? What if the accent color's too stark? So many uncomfortable feelings and thoughts. So the other day I was having one of those moments when I noticed myself saying, why do I even put myself through this? I don't really have to work. I choose to. So why put myself through all this stress? I noticed I was deep in fighting that uncomfortable feeling when I said, okay, all right, this doesn't feel good and I'm trying to solve for it. What if I just let myself feel the feeling and be okay with it? Be okay that I am overanalyzing, and just notice that I'm doing it and let it be okay. Just that reality is there and not wish for it to be different. And interestingly, that also worked. So I thought, okay, well, this comes with the territory of doing things outside of the box, and I'm happy that I can do that. And a little discomfort's okay. I mean, it's not going to kill me. It means I'm doing something hard, and I'm okay with that. And as I sat with it, it didn't take long for that grip to ease. It really didn't, because I was okay with it, which took most of its leverage away, and it loosened its grip of me. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't about, becoming a doormat or ignoring real problems. If something's very harmful, truly harmful, like a toxic relationship or a health issue, absolutely you have to address it. But for those everyday discomforts, the ones that aren't emergencies but still kind of hijack our peace, this acceptance thing is really gold. I mean, it's like training a muscle. The more you practice in small ways, the stronger you get for the bigger stuff. And science backs me up on this. Mindfulness research shows that when we stop resisting pain or discomfort, our brain's stress response, it dials back. So it's not pie in the sky. It's actually our wiring. The resistance we give really is what fuels the fire of discomfort. It makes sense if you think about it. And this ties into so much of what we talk about on this podcast, building a lifestyle that's resilient, not rigid. I mean, we chase comfort all the time. We want that perfect playlist or the ideal temperature or the seamless schedule. But life isn't seamless. It's often messy with itches and anxiety and aches baked in. By practicing acceptance, we're not giving up. We're gaining freedom from that constant inner battle. I mean, imagine applying this to your relationship. Maybe you accept a friend's flaw without needing to change them right away. Or even your own body image. Notice that the self-criticism, notice that and just be okay. That doesn't feel good, but you don't have to spiral into diets or shame. That's freeing, if you ask me. See, embracing the itch, it's not about loving discomfort. It's about not letting it control us. That morning meditation reminded me the power isn't in erasing the unpleasant. It's in allowing it space and kind of watching it lose its edge, watching it lose its grip over you. And if meditation is on your radar, be sure to check out guides like Henry from the Way app or Jeff Warren from the Calm app. I cannot tell you in words how much it's helped my life. My challenge to you today is the next time an unpleasant feeling pops up, whether it's physical or emotional, maybe pause for 30 seconds and notice it without judgment. And say to yourself, this is here. I don't like it. I want it different. And that's okay. Don't force a fix, just observe it. Over time, you're going to see the shift. Share this with someone who may be feeling some discomfort this week. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.